Hello, and welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? My name is Jake Scheidel. This is a podcast. This is a podcast about reality TV and friendship. Each week, I'm joined with my best friend, so fresh, so clean, Thomas Powell, to discuss the latest episode of a certain reality TV show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going?
I am cooler than Freddie Jackson sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm.
That is so good to hear. Okay. Do you like The Incredibles on Facebook?
I don't.
You really should.
Maybe I do. I don't know. I barely pay attention to Facebook, so it's entirely possible.
Fair enough. They posted a screen cap of Frozone the other day, and with the caption, "What's cooler than being cool? This guy." And they didn't go with the Outcast reference, so I said it in the comments, and I got somebody to join in with me, and it was a really good time. Check out Facebook.
No.
That's my plug.
I will pass on that one.
That's fine. I've got a question for you, Tommy bro.
All right, Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shot.
Did you watch the challenge last night?
I did.
Yeah, good. That's we're getting close to the end.
Thank God.
Yeah, really.
I'm very done with this.
I know. Hopefully next season is better. But we gotta slug through this one first. This week's episode was called Blood versus Love. Why it was called that, I have no idea. That wasn't a plot point at all.
Yeah, it
in
was
this whole episode.
This title was almost kind of obscure Queens of the Stone Age song. There's a song off of Lullabies to Paralyze called "The Blood Is Love." So I know this wasn't a reference to that, but
Well, okay, so looking at the list of episode titles for this season, it looks like they just Googled phrases with the word blood in them.
I just like to think like a bunch of MTV interns just Googling blood.
I found a bunch of these terrifying pictures on Google Images. Do you want these? I printed every one of them off.
Pictures of blood.
So I looked up phrases with the word blood. Do you want to hear some of the results?
Blood is thicker than water, I bet, is one of them.
Yeah, that is. Every single episode title that they've used so far was on this list. I don't remember what website I was looking at, but it doesn't matter. Rush of Blood, Out for Blood, Blood Moon, that would be a good episode title. Cold Blood, Taste Blood, Blood Runs Cold, Blue Blood, that would have been another good name, because Jamie from the show is a cop, or he works in a jail or something. Getting Blood from a Stone, also a good title. Make Blood Boil, Blood and Guts, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That seems fitting. That's going to be the name of the finale, I bet you.
Yeah, probably.
In Cold Blood, Young Blood, yeah.
I just think, too, like, MTV, during all of these types of reality shows, will have, like, they'll make a point of, like, using music, and they'll like, list the artist or whatever, and the music will be playing, it'll be edited in, like, a little too loud, like, during all the challenge sequences and stuff like that. For this season, wouldn't it make sense for them to use a little song called "Warm Blood" by Rae Jepsen? Yes, it would, but they haven't done it, and they won't do it.
Here's my idea for the soundtrack for this season of the challenge. Every episode should just be... Episode 1 should be the first track of Emotion. Episode 2, second track. And what is it, 10 tracks? Perfect amount of episodes.
Yeah, just get them all in there.
That album is so good.
That was my... I vacillate between whether it was my first or second favorite. It's that and Tame Impala's album from last year were my two faves.
Oh, yeah. I like Tame Impala, and I just don't don't ever listen to them. But whenever they come on, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this. Who is this? Oh yeah, it's Tame. Okay, it's Tame Impala. Cool, great. Oh hey, by the way, I listed all of those those phrases with blood. I mentioned that one of them was Out for Blood. Guess what next week's episode title is?
Out for Blood.
Yep, super clever, you guys. So every episode starts with a recap of previous episodes. The recaps are super bad this year. Like, ridiculous. Like, even worse than the actual show. Have you noticed this at all?
I mean, I can't really compare them to other seasons, but I've never, like, seen those packages and been like, wow, this is great.
Well, it used to be just like every other reality show that would do that kind of thing. But for whatever reason, this year, they're, like, doing freeze frames, and then we'll have, like, a one-word caption over the freeze frame. Like, when they go into the elimination, it'll be like, freeze frame, elimination. Or they'll show, like, 2 bloodlines, and it'll be like, cousins. We know.
No. Yeah, like, I'm aware of that.
Like, the worst stylistic choice you could have made.
Oh, there's been, we'll talk about, there was one particular editing choice in this episode. The editing has been a bit substandard this season, and there was one thing that I burst out laughing at during this episode. It was so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, though, I have a solution, though. If they want to have, like, a good sort of comprehensive recap that's entertaining, why not just play the most recent episode of this show before?
Yeah.
Just set aside...
This show that actually is longer than the actual episode of the DLC.
Yeah, set aside a half hour to an hour long block. Just have this play... Have this play
this instead of a rerun of Awkward or whatever they play before.
Yeah, no, just get us on. Pay us, please. Please, MTV, please pay us.
MTV, we're
I don't
hanging
know
on
if I
your
can
back
do
and
another...
we want the money.
I don't know if I can do another season of the challenge if I'm not being paid to talk about it. So, MTV, how about you pay me?
Next season is Rivals, which is usually a pretty good, I don't even know what to call it. Game?
Might be seeing Abram and Bananas on that one, huh?
Well, you might think that, but actually, next season of Rivals is all co-ed teams, whereas previous Rivals incarnations have been same-sex teams. Isn't that interesting?
Sure, whatever. if you say so.
I was looking at your face and I could tell you were falling asleep. So this episode starts with everyone at a club, because of course, and everybody's just complaining about how annoying Vince is.
I don't understand why Vince is just being like a really cool guy, just like throwing things at the girls' faces. Just like a really cool guy.
Game. You know what Vince's actions reminded me of?
What is that?
When we went out in GR for your birthday last year, and you became obsessed.
Ah,
yes!
yes!
Your cousin and Wet Willie.
Apparently, I reached a level, like, of intoxication where I don't know why the idea stuck with me so much, but I was really trying to give my cousin a Wet Willie. A thing that I hadn't even really thought about doing since, like, I was probably 8 or 9 years old. For some reason, it became incredibly attractive to me.
It was so important.
I really pressed hard. Hey, Jake, don't pretend that you did not get in on this.
Oh, no,
you did give him a Wet Willie.
I definitely did. I took one for the team of being you and me, and when you went to the bathroom, we were talking it over, and he was like, this is really annoying, I want him to stop, and I'm like, don't worry about it, I'll talk to him, it won't happen again, and he was like, thanks, I was looking off in another part of the bar, I licked my finger and stuck it in his
Yeah!
and he got so mad.
Got him. That's actually, it's coincidentally the picture that we used for the podcast was taken that night.
Yeah, that was taken that night. I also need to figure out how to update the logo in the iTunes store, but I haven't done any work for this podcast. So, Bananas is Vince's cousin, if you didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He mentions that if the red team loses, the plan is for Abram to throw himself in. Okay, sure. Why? Did you explain why that's happening? No? Okay. Seems like a very stupid move. All right, sure. So this scene is with Abram. I know I mentioned this a few weeks ago to you, but you hadn't watched that episode. Did you notice this episode, Abram's dumbass tattoo?
Oh, which one are we talking about?
Come on. There's only one that's worth mentioning.
I just have, seen that he has tattoos. I have not paid attention to the content of the tattoos.
The one that is on his head, where his hair should be growing?
That's your issue is just with the tattoo's placement, not with, what it actually is.
Yeah, it's just like a feather or leaf crown or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
It's tattooed on his skull. It looks bad.
In his defense,
okay,
if he ever gets tired of this tattoo, he can just let the hair grow back.
I guess that's true, but at this point of filming, he wasn't tired of it, and that makes me upset.
I don't know. I don't think it's that egregious.
I think it's gross.
I'm gonna defend Abram.
He seems like he needs it.
First time for everything.
Yeah. Bananas says, I don't know why he said this. I don't know who he was talking to, but he said the challenge is like a real-life game of Monopoly, but instead of a top hat, you're playing with human beings? No, Bananas. That's not how Monopoly is played.
In what way is it like Monopoly? There's nothing about this strategically that is like Monopoly. You know in Monopoly how you need to form alliances with people and I don't know. It's
yeah.
No one can accuse Bananas of being the most intelligent wordsmith or whatever, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I think
he was also drunk in his defense.
Yeah, but I think also maybe he's just never played a different board game.
Yeah, he's thinking about board game, and he's that's the thing that you would need to strategize in. Monopoly, that's a board game.
My strategy in Monopoly is to get a lot of money. It's like real life. I was thinking I think the most obvious comparison would be to chess, but that's already Survivor's thing, as has been well documented in the previous season of Survivor.
The challenge is the checkers to Survivor's chess.
I was thinking a better comparison would be tic-tac-toe.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You just... Actually, sorry, that's a pretty good comparison, because you don't really do much, and then people get mad at you for no reason.
Yep.
That's this whole show.
The challenge is like a game of Mario Party.
So before they leave the club, at some point, Abram says, we need to get rid of John at some point. Cool. Great strategy. Real Monopoly you got there, Abram.
It's a good strategy if anyone would ever fucking do it. Seriously.
I know. No wonder he's won 5 of the 12 challenges he's been on. Because he somehow convinces people not to vote him in.
Nobody ever votes him off. Why is everyone you know what sounds like a really good idea? Allying with Johnny Bananas. Let's make sure he stays in for a long time. Because, people always really benefit a lot from allying with him. That definitely hasn't hurt anybody yet.
At least the last 3 or 4 episodes of this season alone have been about how they need to get out Bananas and Vince.
Surely this will be the week.
You shouldn't align with him because he's going to go back on you. And he's going to stab you in the back, so don't trust him. And then nobody gets him out.
It's idiotic. I said it last week after all the shit that went down last week. I said on the podcast, Bananas or Vince is getting sent into the pit this next week. They have to. They don't have another choice. Spoiler alert: neither of them get sent into the pit. Neither of them gets a single vote to go into the pit.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, we'll get into the voting and everybody's strategy with the voting. It's very much a Monopoly strategy.
It's stupid. It hinged on the voting strategy this week. the domino that fell and like basically like caused a chain reaction to get the pairing that we got this week was by maybe the dumbest person on the show being like, they literally like being like, I don't know, not bananas.
But honestly, though, okay, we'll get into that when we get to the voting part of it. Right now, we're talking about the challenge. This challenge looked pretty fun, actually. Like, it looked terrifying, but it looked like something I would enjoy.
No, this one was really cool. I think this was cooler than most of the Survivor challenges from this past season.
Yeah, it looked really fun.
This is the only, like, imaginative one they've had all season.
And it looked appropriately challenging.
Yes.
But also fairly safe still.
You know what this kind of reminded me of? We'll get into the details of it, but it kind of reminded me of, like, an old Fear Factor challenge.
Yeah.
In, like, a good
totally
way.
Right.
In the way that show could be good sometimes.
Better than when that guy dipped himself into a bucket of literal blood and then freaked out.
Yep.
They stopped doing blood challenges after that on that show.
I can't imagine why. No, the challenge this week was there was like a boat, right, that they were jumping off of?
Yeah, they were like on a pirate ship.
Yeah,
I know there's a legitimate term for
like
that kind of boat.
Like a clipper or something like that, but like
a Los Angeles Clipper.
Yeah, like a
Wait, is that what that basketball team was named after?
Yeah.
Is those boats? Oh,
yeah,
I never realized that.
Because they were originally the San Diego Clippers, and it made sense because San Diego's got a big harbor. But then they moved to Los Angeles, and just like the Lakers moving from Minneapolis, the name ceased to actually mean anything.
Yep.
But no, okay, so they jump off of this ship, and there's like a buoy marker 150 feet away that they need to get to, but the twist is that they have to swim the entire way underwater, and there's a series of 6 little, like, air pockets. They're just these little tanks
like glass
underwater.
boxes with air pockets in them, yeah.
Yeah, and they can fit 2 people at a time, and the teams need to basically go one at a time between each pocket, and ensuring
it's like a relay.
Yeah, it is like a relay because only 2 people can be in the pocket at the same time. So,
and you can't leave your pocket until somebody else joins.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked really fun, and I can't believe how difficult it was for most of the people.
It was fun to watch people be huge babies about it.
Yeah.
They mentioned, I can't remember who it was that mentioned this, but you had to go down 7 feet. So
that's not that far.
Not even the full of like one of the, like, I think the shallowest deep ends you usually see in pools are like 8 feet.
Yeah.
I was thinking going to the bottom of.
I was thinking about the pool in the neighborhood where we grew up had an 8-foot bottom.
That
was the deepest point, and it was so easy to swim down, especially
really not hard to get to.
Once you were like 12 or 13 and like knew how to hold your breath underwater for a prolonged period of time, you're like, oh yeah, I can jump down to the bottom and touch the bottom. That's fun.
Well, even like the thing is, even if like you're bad at holding your breath, it's really not going to take you that long to get down there. So it's like even if you feel like you're running out of air, it's like, well, I'm just going to get into this air pocket. Like it's not that hard. I say this, maybe I would be a big baby about it.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of it was psychological. And I think they must have known that when they created this challenge.
Yeah, it's like a knee-jerk reaction from your brain, you know, like
you're like, oh man, there's not going to be a lot of oxygen down there. I won't be able to breathe soon. So your surface.
It's the kind of thing where too, I think if you hesitate at all, like if you stop for a second, I think you're pretty much, pun intended, dead in the water. But so you could see that where anyone that really hesitated, you could tell they weren't going to make it.
Yeah. The red team goes first. Bananas makes it to the first air pocket, and then Bree goes and swims to the surface before making it to the first box. Then Corey goes and does the same thing. Then Rihanna goes and does the same thing. Then Cara Maria goes and does the same thing. So Abram is the last person on the red team to go, and he and Bananas finish the challenge together. And then the blue team goes.
Before that, I have to say, they make a bunch of jokes about how like Abram had his chance to kill Johnny and didn't do it. But we did get something I did actually think was really funny, which was Cara Maria saying, like, you had the chance to stop Bananas from doing challenges until he was 60 years old.
Yeah,
and you failed.
That was a pretty good line.
So I was like, yep. That's pretty accurate.
All you had to do was literally murder someone.
Yep, that was the funniest thing on this episode, I thought. The second funniest would be people referring to Vince as creepy Uncle Vince.
Yes.
Which is fantastic and accurate.
There's an episode title, Creepy Uncle Vince, but no. Let's call it Blood versus... Why did they call this episode Blood versus Water?
Because they're stupid, because they're really dumb.
They are. They're really dumb. Whatever.
By the way, I will say, it'll come up at some point. I have something that will definitely be the title of this episode. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Of ours. Like, I've got a good one.
Yeah, no, I got you. So, the blue team goes, and Anissa swims down to the box, and gets like a foot away, and then freaks out and decides to swim the 7 feet back up to the surface.
It's so stupid. It's like,
it doesn't make any sense.
The closer air is right in front of you. Why are you going to the surface?
Yeah, that's why I think it was a psychological thing for most people. Jenna actually makes it to the first box, but then starts freaking out when she's in the box, and Mitch is there with her, and like tries to console her, but it doesn't work, so she leaves the box and swims back up to the surface. And Jamie, all this time, is waiting in the second box. Mitch is having trouble breathing in his box. He says it feels unnatural, so he swims back to the surface. Vince swims back to the surface. So Mike and Jamie are the only two left for the blue team, and they finish together. So again, it comes down to the time, and guess who won? It was the red team again. Yep. Red team won literally every team challenge this season.
It's insane.
Yeah, it really is. Was that the title that you were going to use? Okay.
No, the title... I'll just go right now. The title for it was, at one point, I can't remember if it's Cara Maria or Abram that says this, but I think it's Cara Maria that says that her policy is ABB, anybody but bananas. Mm-hmm. And so my immediate thought was, who's down with ABB? You down with ABB? The answer, of course, to my question... The answer, of course, to my question being every last homie.
So, after TJ announces that the red team won, he also announces that this is the last challenge with the red and the blue teams. So vote accordingly? I don't know. The blue team goes in to deliberate, and Jenna is like, hey, what if we voted for Vince? You know, the person we're trying to eliminate this entire game? We have the opportunity. Let's do it. But Vince tries to convince Mike to volunteer again, and it works somehow.
Abram and Mike are very willing to like throw themselves in to try and get eliminated. Like it's a wonder they even made it to this week. They're always trying to
prove themselves, and it's like you don't need to do that.
It's also incredibly stupid to have Mike. Like, if you're Mike, it's like, I'm like, Jamie and Mike are the ones carrying them every week on these challenges. It's like, put someone else who's, like, be like, hey, how about we put someone in who fucking sucks and, like, let's actually punish someone for performing badly. Like, for once, let's please do that.
Or let's vote out the number one enemy of this season.
Yeah. Or just put Vince in. Just do it. Yep. And Vince failed the challenge.
Yep. He failed every challenge.
Yeah, Vince is low-key really bad at challenges.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be good at them, and because he's, the bloodline for Bananas, you would think he would be good, because Bananas is good at challenges. Nope.
Yeah, he's just a lackey. I wonder how much of Vince's life is taken up by him trying to be as good as Bananas, because he, like, sees his cousin, like, winning all these challenges on MTV and, like, selling all this merchandise for himself. It's like, oh, man, he's so good and so strong and so talented. So he's just like, oh, I'm gonna make my arms real big and do my hair up.
Yeah. I think the opening credits thing for them is a pretty, like, decent... like, metaphor for how each of them has performed, which is just Bananas sack tapping Vince.
Yeah.
Just being like, what? And Vince being like, oh no.
That's why Vince has performed so poorly this season. Because they filmed that before the challenge started, yeah.
So anytime he's trying to do anything, he's just like, ow, my balls.
There's, I think it was on one of the Battle of the Exes seasons. I think it was Leroy and his ex, Naomi, I think. And maybe it was a different team. But the dude was carrying his ex-girlfriend and, like, swinging around, and then just drops her on the ground, and that was their little introduction. It's the funniest thing every episode. You should go back and watch it. This season is not a good season.
I am not. I know it hasn't been. I am not going to go back and watch previous seasons.
That's fine. Yeah.
I have like actual shows that I like that I haven't caught up on. So,
such as
Better Call Saul.
You haven't caught up on Better Call Saul?
I only watched the pilot. I thought it was good. I just never got around to watching more of it.
Yeah, it's good. The finale is a little ham-fisted. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. I'm really excited for season 2.
No, I've heard it's good. I will watch it at some point. And there's like, I'm not going to go into every show that I haven't watched that I want to, but like, you know, whatever.
The biggest one for me is X-Files, which I know just came back.
I will send you a link. I will send you a link. My good bud, Brian Schroeder, who is at... Sorry, just continue. I stuttered over too many words in that sentence to make a joke. Shut up. Who's at Cosmis, C-O-S-M-I-S, on Twitter, made...
He's very popular.
Yeah, he's got like 4,000 followers. He made like a comprehensive list of just like essential X-Files episodes to watch, and I think most of them are non-mythology episodes, so if you just want to go through and watch like a bunch of really good episodes, but you don't want to have to tackle all 9 seasons of it or whatever, just find his Twitter bio. I believe it's for Fellowship of the Screen, is what he writes for that. But yeah, he put a lot of work into that, and that's when I do eventually watch X-Files, that's going to be kind of the guide I'm going to go through it with. Yeah.
I hate skipping around like that, though. I really enjoy seeing I want to see everything in a show like that. Because, like, you produced 150 episodes or whatever it is, and I want to see all of them, even the bad ones, Twin Peaks.
That's a noble endeavor. That's such a huge commitment. Like,
I watched every episode of classic Doctor Who.
Oh, I know you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the news about Stephen Moffat?
I'm so happy.
Finally going away.
I'm so glad. His first season or two as showrunner was he did a good job. Like, I know there were some issues with female characters, and with him there always will be. Yeah. But from a plot standpoint, I think the first season or two he did were really, really good.
I did not care for the second season that he did, but I will maintain that season 5 of Doctor Who, which is the first one he did with Matt Smith, is my favorite season of any Doctor Who. I think it's great. That James Corden episode, pretty great. But
when James Corden hosted that late night show that the Doctor came on,
it was great.
I'm on a talk show.
That was one where I, like, for a long time was like, I know that James Corden's this late night guy, but I know I've seen him somewhere, and then recently I was like, oh, he was in the one where he was, where the Doctor was flatmates with him or whatever, and, like, they played soccer, and it was a really fun episode. But yeah, I am pleased. I probably still won't go back and watch it, but the main reason that I have stayed away from it is because I hate Stephen Moffat's writing. I hate, especially in a recent context, I think he at the very least needs someone to check him. But even then, you get stuff like Sherlock, which the third series wasn't great, and the holiday special was bad, and, it's just like I don't know, he has just really bad tendencies, and I'm glad that he's going to be away from the show.
I think he gets mad at his fans when they don't like something he does, but then tries to pay homage to them by creating a character that's like, oh, this is what the fans of the show are like. And he does both poorly.
You know what? Here's what I will say about him. He is like a British Aaron Sorkin in that he is capable of creating good work, but he desperately needs an editor because he is kind of an asshole and has bad habits that he falls into. And when he's unchecked, you get things like the Irene Adler episode of Sherlock. And when Sorkin's unchecked, you get things like Studio 60 in the newsroom.
Yeah. Did you see any of the most recent season of Doctor Who?
No, and
it's not good.
No, I know, and like I should love it because I absolutely love Peter Capaldi. I love Peter Capaldi as an actor, and it's like even the news that he was the new Doctor, I was just like I can't get excited about it. Like,
yeah, Anyway, that's too much Doctor Who talk.
Yeah, this has been the Doctor Who corner. This is our new segment where we talk about Doctor Who.
So, after the blue team deliberates on the challenge, the other show we were talking about, they go back in the house, and Cara Maria says that Vince has been nothing but a greaseball, which I guess is accurate. They didn't really build his character at all throughout the season, except for like the 5 minutes in the beginning of this episode. But yeah, he seems like a weird dude.
Yeah, I'm sure he would say that he's been NBN, though. Nothing but nice.
Nothing but nice.
Yep.
Then Cara Maria tells Jenna and Brianna that she trusts them. Okay. Sure, that's a plot point now.
Yeah, her and Jamie were basically just like, look, if you guys want to like team up or whatever, like we're cool with you guys. You're the only team that we would really have any vested interest in protecting at this point. Like, so if we want to get somebody eliminated, like we would totally be willing to ally with you guys. And I think it just kind of went, like, right over Jenna and Brianna's heads.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if I trust that. Like, I think they want them in the finals because they know they can beat them.
Yeah, but at the same time, you want to be in the final, so, like, why wouldn't you take that?
Yeah, that's true. Bananas says that this is a game of integrity.
No, he does not say that. He says this is not a competition about who has the most integrity, or yeah, he's saying the opposite.
I missed a very important word in that sentence.
Yeah, no, he's saying basically he's like, I don't care if people want to throw that at me because this is not that's not the competition. The competition is about who's the most honorable. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was like, why did he say that?
No, it would be really dumb for him to say that.
Okay.
You would be an enormous hypocrite.
Yeah. And then he tells Jenna and Brianna that they should vote in Jamie today because they don't want to go against Cara in a final, which is, that's a fair point. They don't want to go against her because she would destroy them. But also, I don't think they want to go against Bananas in a final.
No, that's the thing! You have to pick a lesser of two evils, and I don't know how they don't see this, where it's like, Cara Maria has not won, I don't think.
No, she never has. She's been in like 8 challenges. She's never won.
Cara Maria hasn't won. Bananas has won 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody but Bananas. I think that I would like Bananas more if they had put more focus on the gameplay this season.
Yeah.
Because he obviously is a very strategic player and one of the only... It's like him and Cara are the only strategic players this season.
Yeah, he clearly is, like, a really good manipulator because, like, even when he messes up, you think, like, oh, well, surely this is going to be the end of him, and then it never comes back on him. It's crazy.
Yeah. You know why he's such a good manipulator?
Why?
Because he played a lot of Monopoly growing up.
Oh, that's true. You really need to be able to play personalities in that.
Hey, you gotta pay your $300 in rent for Park Place or whatever. And they're like, you got me, Bananas. You sure did get me.
Oh no, I landed on Park Place. Masterful move, Bananas.
I don't know how you got those dice to roll that way, but you did.
No, it's honestly, I think part of it is just like, Bananas seems like decently intelligent. Like, he at least can read people pretty well, and it almost is just like in The Land of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king kind of situation, where it's like, he's smart enough to manipulate the large number of dumb people that compete on
He's smart enough to manipulate people who have been on the real world.
Yeah, the Jennas and the Briannas of the show.
Like, there have been people on the real world who are champions in the WWE, and senators, and, like, filmmakers. And then there are the people who spent the next 10 years of their time after the real world being on another iteration of the real world. Like, those people obviously
Can you imagine, though, the Miz on the challenge? Like, if he just took a break from wrestling to be on the challenge, it'd be great.
Now, yeah, because he...
I could totally see him on... No, I could totally see him on the challenge.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did, like, 4 or 5 before he was a wrestler. Like, between his time on Real World...
I bet he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I bet he was pretty good at them.
Yeah, he won
like, now,
1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, like, current WWE shape Miz.
Hollywood A-lister, The Miz.
Yeah, it's Hollywood A-lister, star of... It's not ABC Family anymore, they're rebranding, right?
Freeform.
Yeah, Freeform.
I don't know why I know
star.
that. I never watch ABC Family.
I don't either. I just now found this out. Like,
it happened fairly
literally
recently,
this
like,
weekend.
within the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, no, but, like, yeah, and star of Freeform original movies, Mike Mizanin. If he were on the challenge now, he would probably kill it, and he would be entertaining. So,
yeah,
Miz, consider just taking a break from your consistent paycheck at WWE to maybe win some money.
Win probably less money than you're making.
Guaranteed, significantly less money.
With people half your age.
Yep.
So they go to vote. For whatever reason, Mike is the first to vote for his team, and he votes himself in. And he says how he gave Vince and Jamie the opportunity to vote themselves in too, and they both didn't take it. And Vince says that he doesn't have anything to prove, so he won't vote himself in. What is your logic there, Vince?
All you have to say, Vince, you don't have to turn it into this thing where you're, like, taking the high road or something. Just be like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to vote myself in for no reason. Yeah. Like, if you want to do it,
I don't want to go into an elimination.
Like, I'm not going to stop you if you want to throw yourself in, Mike.
Yeah. I don't think Mike understands how this voting system works. Whatever. So, the red team then votes, and literally everyone votes for Jamie, including his cousin Cara Maria. Why? Again, why? Why would she vote for him? That doesn't make any sense.
It's like she's at a position where she's like, well, he's going to go in anyway, so I have to vote for him. Like, just at least be like, I vote for Vince because this is what we should have done. And the same thing with Abram. Like, Abram wanted Vince to go in, so why not just have both of you vote for him? Like, because he's like, I'm not going to vote for you because you don't deserve to be in that challenge with my cousin, I think, or with my brother, is what he said. Yeah. But, like, it's just so stupid. And it all got kickstarted with Brianna just being like, I don't know who to pick. I guess I'm going to pick Jamie for no reason. Yeah.
Well, when Abram voted, he was the last one to vote. He made this monologue, and he said something along the lines of, like, you make sleazy deals with sleazy people, and that's why y'all suck. So...
Yeah, I think basically he said that, like, people don't... Your actions in this game are a reflection of yourself as a person, basically.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to let... I think he had a good point just in terms of how easily people are manipulated on that show and how willing they are to be manipulated by bananas. Like...
Yeah.
Because it's constant, like... Jenna got thrown in last week directly because of bananas, and I think she wanted to vote Johnny in, but like couldn't get Brianna to do it, and that ended up swaying the entire voting process. Because honestly, if Brianna votes, if Brianna, Abram, and Cara Maria vote Vince in, I think that's enough to get him to go.
Yeah, there's, 6 people on each team at the end of this?
At the very least, they're tying.
Yeah. God damn. It's a weird confidence thing. And, like, all of these people obviously are super confident in themselves because they're on this show, but then they're not confident enough to actually make a move.
In a voting process where they're not risking themselves. Like, I don't get it.
I think the major reason that they didn't vote for Vince is because they're afraid he will win and
but he won't
will burn bridges. That's not a guarantee, though.
I would be afraid of that if Bananas was going into the pit. But Vince can win, but Vince would not have won this week.
Well, yeah, but they didn't know what the challenge was going to be.
Regardless, Vince is bad enough in challenges that I think that it's a much safer bet to go after him than it is to go after Jamie. Jamie's better in challenges than Vince is.
Yeah. So after the vote, Bananas refers to himself as the Cockroach Man, which is a nickname I don't like.
I actually kind of liked that. I thought that was funny.
I didn't like that at all.
Cockroach Man survives.
So, then they go into the pit, and TJ tells the remaining teams, "Tonight you are representing your families, but I have a surprise for you guys. Come on out, guys." And then CT and Zach come out. Hooray! And Jenna explains in a talking head, I love this quote so much. I just loved her enthusiasm. Zach is my boyfriend. It was so funny.
That was great. I also liked Rihanna just being like, I just love like watching like people like
be in love,
like being in love or whatever. She's like, that might be like creepy, and it's like this is the first talking head we've had from her in like 3 weeks, and that's what we get out of it.
Yeah, she said like 3 things all season, and they've all been fairly like her first major scene was when she was eating cold cuts with Mitch in bed in like the first episode. That was really funny, and this thing was really funny too. Yeah.
That was like also what did Anissa say that was like a double entendre earlier in this?
I don't know. I think I missed it.
She said something. At one point she was saying something and she was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty bad." Like it was in regard to, I can't remember what it was.
I don't either.
This is the kind of content that you get from this podcast. Me almost remembering something that was kind of funny.
Play this show before your show, MTV. We remember things super good.
Pay us money for this.
Pay us. You think like $5?
Yeah, it's $5. We'll do it for $5
each. Though we're not chumps. So TJ tells Mike and Jamie that instead of facing each other in this elimination, they are going to face one of the 2 behemoths. So the challenge, there's a big wall, and there's 3 poles at differing heights through the wall. Each person has to stand on each side of the wall and try to pull the pole over to their side. Whoever gets the most poles wins, or whoever lasts longer against their respective behemoth wins. They flip a coin, and Jamie goes up against CT. I like this quote from CT too. He said, "I'm not really here to think, more of a hired hand." Thought that was pretty good. CT's an enjoyable presence.
I don't think anyone would ever hire CT to think. That just seems like a recipe for disaster.
He seems like he can think okay. There's a good sentence from me.
Just like you.
Yep. CT takes all 3 polls in his match pretty easily. And then Zach and Mike's turn. Zach says, "I'm not as intimidating as CT. I think I'm nicer than CT." Which is true, but also...
he said he thinks that Mike got a better matchup. He got a better draw than Jamie did.
Zach, very nice, very strong. But God, is it fitting that he's dating Jenna? I mean, you obviously haven't seen much of him, but he is a dumb person.
Big old dummy.
Yep. Last season, he said that women were weaker than men because of it says so in the Bible. Yep. Yeah.
Seems like a cool guy. I'd want to date him.
Oh yeah, he got a lot of shit on that on Twitter, and then had to apologize at the reunion. Yeah. It was, he's so dumb. So Zach also takes all 3 polls with ease, and it comes down to time. Jamie lasted longer, so Mike and Abram are out. How do you feel about volunteering for the elimination, Mike?
Yeah.
That was a super smart move.
It's almost like if you do that multiple times, you'll eventually get eliminated for it.
Yeah. Process of elimination, eh?
The one thing that I wanted, just like one extra thing I wanted out of having the behemoths there is maybe just have like, before the challenge starts, they just like kick sand in Jamie and Mike's faces.
Hey, punks. Punk kids.
Hey, weakling.
That'd be fun. They should have, like, a bullies versus meek players season.
No, that'd be awful.
And it's just, like, Bananas and Zach and CT and Abram all on a team.
The only way they could do that is if half of the challenges were trivia.
Yeah.
Like, literally half of them were, like, entirely mental-based challenges.
And even then, it's like, there's no real shot.
Nope.
So Cara Maria mentions that now that Abram and Mike are gone, she can once again focus on winning. Cool. I hope
Glad
you do.
to see them go. Glad to not have to see Abram anymore.
Yep.
And Mike was just a non-presence. He was just a guy that was there. So.
Yeah. I think Cara Maria has a good shot of winning.
I like Jamie and Cara. I honestly do.
I think she is the most likely to win, and the most. I don't remember what the second part of that thought was going to be. Anyway, yeah, go Cara Maria. Win the thing. So at this point, we have 5 teams remaining. Anissa and Rihanna, Jenna and Brianna, Corey and Mitch Rana, Cara Maria and Jamie, Bananas and Vince. So that's 2 female teams, 2 male teams, and 1 mixed gender team.
One gotta go.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do the final. Because usually it's like 1 female winner or 1 female team winning and 1 male. But they got 1 mixed gender who's probably going to make it to the final, so
we'll see, I guess.
We'll see. With Mike and Abram gone now, every remaining team is made up of cousins, which, like, you know, love all my cousins, but it doesn't seem like as close a connection.
That's where you're wrong, my friend.
Oh, yeah, you're really close with all your cousins.
Yeah, I live with 2 of my cousins.
There's one of them, like, 2 feet away.
Yeah, and I used to live with 3 of my cousins, and 1 of them moved out, but I still work with him. So, yeah, very tight with my cousins.
Yeah. Your finger has been inside one of your cousin's ears.
That could have gone. There were a lot of ways that sentence could have gone for the first part of it. Yes, it has been. But your finger has also been in that cousin's ear, so.
Yeah, but we're not cousins, so.
It's true.
So, just looking up, like, what's coming for the rest of the season and what's up with next season, I've noticed Leroy had terrible luck with partners in his challenge career. He has been on 6 challenges now, and 3 times he has either had been eliminated because of disqualification or been given a new partner. This season he had to go home because of Candice's injury, R.I.P. Last season...
Leave the memories alone, Candice. Truly you were a Candice in the wind. That might be the episode title.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I was thinking the same thing. Last season, Battle of the Exes 2, he was partnered with Naya, who was going to go to the finals with him, but was disqualified for sexually harassing Jordan. And Jordan and his partner ended up winning, so smooth move, Naya.
Yeah.
Free agents, they didn't have any permanent partners, so that doesn't really count. He kept his partner through Rivals 2. He got through Battle of the Exes with one partner, but was eliminated in episode 3, so you don't really get into it with that. And in Rivals, Leroy's first challenge, his partner was kicked out in episode 1, so he was given a replacement. That was Mike. That was the season you watched, right? Rivals?
Yeah. That's who I was rooting for, was Leroy and Mike.
Yeah, they got to the finals. They didn't win, though.
No, they did not.
Next week's challenge looks really intense. They have to apparently scale a mountain, which isn't really something they do until the final. So this might just be the final this next week. I don't know. Usually they have 3 teams in the final, or 3 competitors, with these, like, 2-person team seasons. But maybe this season they'll have 5 in the final, because it's a twist. Look, what a twist.
We'll just have to wait and find out, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I want to start a hashtag. Will you start this hashtag with me? I really want to get... I'm tired of seeing Bananas on MTV. I want to see him on Survivor. So can we start a Bananas on Survivor hashtag? And also, you have to tag Johnny Bananas, whose handle is MTV Bananas, and Jeff Probst, who's Jeff Probst. And we'll get Bananas on Survivor. That's my dream.
I would love to see it, so I'm happy to help.
Good. So when I checked Bananas' handle on Twitter, I read his bio. Do you want to hear his bio?
Let's hear it.
It's ridiculous. Bananas' Twitter bio is, "Growing old is for the birds, and I'm not a bird, I'm a banana."
You do you, Bananas.
Yep.
Never change.
I'm not even mad about that.
No, that's great.
Speaking of Twitter, our Twitter for the show is at DYWSLN. Follow it.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Bring back the Attitude Era. My Twitter is Jake Scheidel. That's my name. Thomas, your Twitter handle.
Thom not Thom. The first time has an H in it. The second one doesn't. And there's some underscores in there.
Yeah, no, throw them around. You'll figure it out. We're also on Facebook. The show's called Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? Like and subscribe to Facebook.
Sign up. Join Facebook.
Sign up, join Facebook.
Do.
Like The Incredibles and like us.
Yep.
And then friend us.
Us first, though.
Us first, then The Incredibles, then our show. Because really, The Incredibles is the most important thing in any of our lives.
I think that this podcast is the most important thing, and then The Incredibles.
Okay.
IMHO.
We also have an email, which is didyouwatchlastnight@gmail.com, if you're familiar.
Have we gotten a single email from this?
I have not checked it.
Email us and we probably won't read it.
We'll read it in like 6 months. Like, oh, what a crazy season of Survivor we're in the middle of. Yeah, Bananas is still on Battle of the Bloodlines. All right, and as we end every show, unless you have anything else you want to mention, Thomas. Nope.
No, I think we've just about covered everything. So I think all we can say now is have a great summer.
Have a great summer.
I wonder which brother is better, which one our parents love the most. I sure did get in lots of trouble. I seemed to let the other go. A tear fell from my father's eyes. I wondered what my dad would say. He said, I love you and I'm proud of you both in so many different ways. If I get murdered in the city, go read the letter in my desk. Don't bother with all my belongings, but pay attention to the list. Make sure my sister knows I loved her. Make sure my mother knows the same. Always remember there was nothing worth sharing like the love that let us share our name. Always remember there was nothing worth sharing like the love that let us share our name.